Hello. Can we swear in this?
Yeah,
okay. Okay, great.
You guys should go drinking with those things. If one of you.
Wow. Anyways.
This is my brother!
Hello, everyone.
Meet Tyler.
How's it going?
I said I'd bring him and now he's here. And I'm super excited. So, hi! I'm back with the Scariest Thing tag, or Paranormal tag, or Scary Shit tag. I don't really know what to call it. But
Some
that's
freaky
what
ass
it
shit.
is. Yeah. I mentioned that my brother has had some really interesting and scary life experiences. So, he's here.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
So, we don't really have to go by the questions, but there's questions. So, we'll start with, what was your scariest real life experience? Just something scary that happened to you, like a real life. Yeah.
Scariest thing that ever happened to me. I was 12 years old. I just come back from school. My grandma grabs me. She just looked pale as a ghost. And she was just like, you have to see this. And she just pulled me by my arm into my bedroom. And I was living with her at the time. And we walk into my bedroom. And I get this really cold sense feeling. And it was really scary. And she was kind of like, look at your posters. And I had like White Zombie at the time. I had Pantera, Korn. I had Slipknot posters. This is back in the 90s too, so that's when all the new metal was first coming out. And there was literally black dots filling all these posters up. And at first I thought maybe it was my grandma's trying to creep me out and like scare me from listening to that satanic music, as she called it, because she was a hardcore Christian who, you know, went to church every Sunday, read her Bible before she went to bed kind of deal. So
Careful, she's still alive. You might watch it.
oh well, we love you, Grandma. Anyways, so these dots on these posters were not, they're paranormal because they weren't marker. And at first, that was the first thing that, you know, it still freaked me out. But that was the first thing I was kind of thinking when I seen it at the time, because I'm thinking, Grandma's kind of not okay with my music, and she's always kind of like, you know, burnt my CDs or thrown them in the garbage, and I was thinking Grandma kind of pulled a psycho there. So, but that was not the case, because I kind of went like this and dabbled the dots, and if it was marker, it'd run, or it'd have a shine to it, you know, like a marker has a shine to it. But instead, they were embedded in the poster like it was created with the poster, which was fucking freaky. And can we swear in this?
Yeah,
okay, great. So anyways, so they were embedded in the poster. There was a billion dots all over these posters, and these are big, you know, like from the metal magazines, like Parade back then. They used to have these metal magazines called Parade, or Hit Part, or whatever, I can't remember back then, because this is going back like almost, yeah. So these things were just embedded in these posters, and I just remember my grandma starting to tear them right off the wall. She's like, they gotta go. They're not staying here. So we went in the backyard. My grandma's literally tearing these fucking posters up in front of me and throwing them into a big Folgers tin can, like the coffee cans they used to have back then. And she was burning them. And she was reciting the Lord's Prayer while she was doing it, which creeped me out, by the way. Probably creeped me out more than the dots did on the posters. But anyways, she was like,
Satan, you're not gonna get my grandson, and I'm going to destroy you before you destroy him.
kind of deal. And it was pretty crazy. So anyways, that's kind of my freakiest story that I can, well, I have freakier stories, but that's one of them that really sticks with me. So yeah, back to Ashley.
Alright, scariest paranormal experience.
See? Did you see the coasters fly off the table there?
Well,
I'm just kidding. Anyways. Okay.
you can pick a few if you want. He's got a few.
I kind of jotted down a list here, just for the stories, so I can kind of look. I'll tell the Necronomicon one. And the Necronomicon was a book written by, it was based on H.P. Lovecraft, but it's also written about like ancient times and a lot of different witchcraft that was going on in those days. And it was some of the most ancient spells that's ever been out there, and some of the most ancient type of symbolatry and stuff like that. So it was really intense book, and I bought it when I was like 16. I was right into witchcraft back then. And we decided, I was in a group home back then, and I was only like 16. I don't want to get personal and stuff and start talking about that shit, but we decided, me and a couple of our group home pals, were going to go into the middle of the woods. We were living in Calgary, Alberta at the time. And we had a huge forest in the back of our group home. So it was just a mile long of just woods. And what was creepy about it was this group home girl that used to live in one of our group homes was a hooker. And she actually got raped and murdered in those woods. So we heard this story and we're automatically like, oh, we want to conjure up her spirit. You want to see what we can do with this kind of thing. And the other guys in the group home kind of knew that I had this Necronomicon book and I was dibbling and dabbling in witchcraft back then. So they were like, Tyler, let's go and do this. Let's check this out. Let's see if we can conjure up this girl's spirit. So I was like, all right. I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing back then, but whatever I did, it worked. Because when we went out there, we walked about a mile out into the woods, and when we went out there, we made a pentagram in the soil with salt and different powders. I think we took some baking soda powder and flour, whatever we could find to make a circle with. So we used a bunch of different stuff. We made a huge pentagram. We put candles on every point, obviously, fire, water, earth, and blah blah blah. And then I enchanted the certain things in the book to conjure up the spirits that were around us. And once I started speaking from the book, this big gust of wind came, it blew out all the candles, and it was midsummer, so it was weird. It got cold in a matter of 10 seconds. It felt like fall, but it was midsummer. And it was warm before the 10 seconds happened. It was 10 seconds, candle blew out, cold, freaky shit started happening. We started getting really scared and we took off running as fast as we can. And that was something that stuck with me for still to this day. Anyways. That's another story.
It's pretty freaking creepy. I don't even know if you told me that story before.
Like I said, there's gonna be some stuff that I've told you and some stuff that I kind of left out.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember whatever I could.
The next question is something that I don't think anybody should say on the internet, but it's, have you ever known anyone convicted of a violent crime?
A violent crime, eh? Yes, I have a couple friends that have been convicted for stuff, but I don't really want to rat them out and put them all over YouTube.
Let's skip that.
Yeah, let's skip that one. Alright.
Are you afraid of the dark?
No.
Why or why not?
I love the dark. I've always been a fan of the dark. I feel more comfortable at night than I do during the day because there's less people. What were you talking about again?
If you're afraid of the dark, why or why not?
No, and I used to love Are You Afraid of the Dark? And I used to
It's
scare
so
the
scary.
shit out of Ashley with a mask on when she was little. We'd be watching that, and we'd be watching Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark, and I'd come popping out. My grandma used to get really pissed off with me because she'd be going and visiting me, and I'd be making my sister cry with the mask on. So, anyways, back to you, Ashley.
I'd be sleeping in my bed. Mom would turn the lights off and whatever, good night Ashley, and I'd be laying there. And all of a sudden I would hear this creepy noise coming from under my bed. It was something like, or like some kind of creepy growling. Do a creepy growling. Yeah, like that. And then I'm laying there like, fuck,
I was
And
practicing for what I wanted to be when I was older, which was a metalhead.
and then I would like be looking around, kind of freaked out. You wouldn't do it as loud as that though. You would do it quieter, but it was still a very creepy growl. And then I would start to see something come up over the side of my bed, and he'd have some creepy fucking Halloween mask on, and all of a sudden it's pitch black, so you kind of see something, but you have to let your eyes adjust, and then you realize what it is, and yeah, you would do that a lot. Or like be standing behind the door, so mom would turn off the light, be like good night, and close the door, and the room's all
I think
dark.
all brothers do this.
And then I don't think all brothers do this.
Are you sure? You don't remember the time I locked you in the closet?
Oh, I remember that time when mom, you got to the age where, cause you're like 4 years older.
She
than
was
me,
like,
4 or
oh,
5.
babysitting time.
Oh yeah, Tyler can babysit now. He's responsible. It's fine. And I was like, I don't know, like 3, 4, 5, whatever, all those ages. And you'd be like, yeah, Ashley. So mom will be home in about 3 hours, and you're going in the
She
closet.
was gone for 8.
And I spent that time in a closet,
Mm-hmm.
dark closet, and you would tell
Not
me
the whole 8 hours.
a long time.
No, maybe a half hour.
But you would tell me that there was something in the closet,
Were you tied up?
and then you would put me in there. I don't know, you probably timed me.
Maybe we should cut that part
It
out.
was very scary.
Ash is like, no, I'm putting that in.
Okay, next question.